Hello everyone, my name is Awot, and I got some pretty exciting news for some of us at least. But Age of Mythology has finally added Steam trading card items. So now that I think about it, this news actually only applies to if you play on Steam. Console players or people who play on the Xbox Game Pass, this might not affect you as much. But yeah, you can get Steam trading cards for Age of Mythology now. Just this morning, they added one for each pantheon. It has the artwork for the three main characters of each pantheon, and then it has a background that goes with the culture. Interestingly, the Norse and the Greeks do not feature Freyr and Demeter respectively, so the dreams of the fourth Egyptian are still alive more than ever. It actually would have been funny if they revealed the fourth Egyptian this way, kind of like how they revealed It's Papa Lo with the promotional background for Women's History Month that they posted on their website. You know, they just silently sneaked her in there. By the way, since Freyr and Demeter are absent from their culture's cards, it means that the fourth Egyptian is still possible. At least in my head, at least. I hope and speculate. But of course, that is just hopeful speculation and nothing confirmed. And as I said in my previous video, I'm not going to fight anyone over it. Anyways, since the cards were relatively cheap, I was able to afford the normal card and level up my Age of Mythology badge all the way up to level 5. So unfortunately, I forgot to take screenshots of each stage, but it's pretty simple. They literally just extracted the icons from in-game. So the first level lands you in Archaic Age, or the Steam profile specifically says Age 1. But then the second level is Classical, or as Steam says Age 2. Level 3 is Heroic Age, or Steam says Age 3. Fourth level would be Mythic Age, or as Steam says Age 4. Then the fifth level would be Wonder Age, or Steam says Age 5. And when you craft each level of badge, you get a random chance of getting one of their backgrounds or emoticons. You can see all the possible things that drop by opening up the points store and checking out the new Age of Mythology section there, where it shows all the backgrounds you can get that have been added to Steam. And these backgrounds, of course, you can display on your Steam profile. Right now, I have the Fall of the Trident set for my own personal background. Then you can see all the emoticons. They're just icons that have been extracted from the game. You can see one of them is actually the diplomat or ally icon that I use on my nomad maps. So now some of you guys know where I got that icon from. It's from the game's files for ally or diplomat. The profile backgrounds are various artwork you found from the game. I noticed these are mostly new additions with the exception of the Fall of the Trident, which is the one I have equipped in my profile. But all the other ones are relatively new artworks that were added with Retold specifically and not found in Extended Edition. So you have the Daily Celestial Challenge artwork that appears in the top right corner whenever you open the game. Then you have the story mode picture from the Arena of the Gods game mode. And then you have the Gauntlet artwork from the Arena of the Gods game mode as well. So I'm really happy that this is finally added so I can represent Age of Mythology on my profile. I can showcase my Age of Mythology badge. And of course I can use funny icons in my group chats on Steam. That being said though, I would have liked to seen more items. I would have loved to seen some frames or animated stuff. I love animated profile frames. Or an animated profile icon would have been nice too. Animated backgrounds would have been a plus, or just more background options overall. They could have done one where the Immortal Pillars was on the left and the Heavenly Spear was on the right, just like in the official triptych artwork that they recently gave us. We could have got the main loading screens for each pantheon as an artwork in the background. So many opportunities. Same thing with the icons and emoticons. I would like to get some heads like how the original Extended Edition had character heads as icons. But I'm grateful for what we got at least because it's been a long time coming. They did hint at it a long time ago. I remember reading one of the update posts right when the game came out and they hinted at it, and I remember thinking like a few months ago whatever came out of that. Well, it's nice to see that it was still on their mind. They had plans for it. And I'm thankful for them for only making 7 cards. They stopped at a good modest amount. I think the max amount of trading cards a game can put up is 15, and I'm just not a big fan of when a game tries to force their game to have all 15 card slots filled for just the sake of having them filled. You know, it makes it a lot harder to get your hands on all of them and purchase all the stuff, you know. And at least the artwork for Retold and the Steam trading cards has to do with Retold. I remember checking out the Extended Edition because I wanted to get the cards for it and show that I was a supporter. Even though I personally didn't play Extended Edition, I didn't have any other way to represent that I loved Age of Mythology at the moment. So I purchased some cards for the Extended Edition to level up my badge there, and I was so lost. I thought I was buying cards for the wrong game the way the artwork did not look like the Extended Edition artwork at all. So like for example, here's Zeus Extended Edition. You can also see in Retold you activate Legacy Portrait. The very iconic Zeus that we all know, it's even an icon that you can unlock in Steam Chat and Steam Emoticons. And then this is Zeus and the Extended Edition's trading card. It gets worse when you look at other characters. Like I'm going to show this character on screen. You guys know who this is supposed to be? I thought it was Poseidon, but no, that's supposed to be Odin. Where are they getting this from? Here's the actual Poseidon. He's a water giant now for some reason. And then here's the badge art for it. The art you get when you unlock the badge for Age of Mythology Extended Edition. I was like, who is this? Apparently that's Thor? I don't know. Even though Thor's Legacy Portrait looks like this. So I was like, oh man. I'm glad Retold's Steam trading card stuff actually makes sense. Let me know if I'm actually being ignorant and that these images are actually from somewhere. Because I didn't play Extended Edition, but still, I felt like even as someone who didn't play Extended Edition, I should be able to recognize the artwork in relation to the iconic original Age of Mythology artwork that I'll be showing on screen right now. And don't get me wrong, the artwork is actually pretty sick. I just didn't know this was in relation to Age of Mythology. What's more than that is that I'm actively working on getting the foil badge right now. So in case you guys didn't know, in Steam you have the normal badge, which can be leveled up 5 times, and then you have the foil badge, which can only be leveled up once. The foil badge is crafted some foil versions of the normal cards, which are 1 in 100 chance of dropping. I have 3 that I was able to buy for cheap prices, thankfully. But right now I'm waiting for the other 4 to be sold at a decent price. Because if I bought it all right now for the prices that they're currently being listed for, I would have to pay $12. And currently, as you guys know, I talk about this a lot on the channel, but I'm still struggling to find work ever since I was laid off quite a few months ago. So I'm not sure if I was able to be throwing out money on silly things like this while my wife works hard to provide for us. Although if this were to drop before I got laid off, absolutely no questions asked, I would drop the 12 bucks to get them all right away and show you guys what you get. Currently it says difficulty M. I don't even know what that is. Are they talking about like medium difficulty in the lobby? I have no clue. Oh, I'm sure if you're super curious, you can check out on the Steam database page. But yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit for the prices to hopefully stabilize. I'd assume the foil prices are through the roof right now because it's a relatively recent thing. But I'm sure as more and more get created, the prices will stabilize down to a decent price, like in the $1 range. As you know, that's the typical price I will see foil cards go for on other games with around 7 to 8 trading cards. Hey guys, look at my profile. You may notice I do in fact collect quite a bit of trading cards for games I have played or owned back when I had an income. So I'm pretty familiar with how the system works. Hey, sudden cut from the future. I hope this doesn't jump scare some of you, but I was able to buy the remaining cards for around $5. I didn't know where else to put it, so I'm just going to throw it here. And then the video will resume once it's done. But this is what the badge will look like. I'm still not sure where the difficulty M comes from, but I think it looks pretty cool. If you do know where it's from, please let me know. The closest thing I got is the rainbow logo you get for being the campaign in Ludicrous. And now we're returning to the main video. Speaking of while recording for this video, I did get a trading card pack. They randomly dropped for free for people who own the game and have active Steam accounts. I think active means like if you've logged in and played a game within the past weeks or so. And I think the more badges you've crafted on Steam overall, the more likely you are to get one. Anyways, these booster packs, basically you open it and you get 3 random cards. So as I previously mentioned, each of these have a 1 in 100 chance of dropping as a foil card. And I could really use the Norse foil card right now because that's the most expensive one and I'm not shelling out $5 for it. Right now I own Aztecs, Japanese, and Atlantean. Which, speaking of, how are these cards even organized? You know, it starts off alphabetical with going Aztec, Chinese, Egyptian, Greek, Japanese, Norse, but then it kind of drops it by putting Atlanteans last. If you're going in alphabetical order, Atlanteans would come before Aztecs. Maybe they don't count Atlanteans as a true civilization. I don't know, because they're kind of fictional with inspired elements as opposed to just being a culture based one like all the other ones are. I don't know, I'm just thinking too hard about it. Anyway, this is a random thought that came in. I don't actually care about what order they put it in. I just thought it was a funny detail to look at and talk about. So let me go ahead and try and record this. Usually I use NVIDIA to record gameplay footage, but Steam is not gameplay. So sorry if the recording looks a little botched. I'm using literally the snipping tool right now. And please ignore all the TF2 cards in the background. It's safe to say that I play a little bit of Team Fortress 2. Okay, it looks like we got a Norse card, but it's not a foil, unfortunately. None of them are, as foils are defined by their gray background and would say parentheses foil. But that's fine, I wasn't really expecting it. It's really a 1 in 100 chance. Since I already have the level 5 badge, if you're on my friends list and see this and you want it, just let me know, and I'll give it to you for free. If you're not already on my friends list, I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to go through the process of adding some random person. It's nothing personal. They're like 8 cents anyway, you're not missing out on much. I will also try to be giving away my duplicates back to the community for as cheap as possible, since when crafting the badges I did get a lot of duplicates of certain icons, like I got 3 of the AOM build icons, and I got 3 of the Fall of the Trident backgrounds. And when it becomes tradable in a week, because unfortunately there is a week cooldown right now for security reasons, but once the sanction has been lifted in a week, I will sell it for as cheap as possible. It should be 3 cents, if I'm not mistaken, it's the cheapest you can sell an item for. Just search up Age of Mythology in the Steam community market a week from now. You'll get a confirmation email once you make the purchase, and you'll be able to check if it was me that sold it to you because it'll have my name. If you did, say hi. Or not. You don't have to. I'm not pressuring you or anything. But yeah, that's it. I'm really excited that we have a way to represent Age of Mythology in our profiles now besides putting it as our favorite game. Just so we're very stoked and glad that they finally got around to adding this. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.